I'm about to use this $10 million tank for Minecraft's biggest war, and I'm going to show you the difference between this and using a $3,000 Dewar 43, using a $4,000 Thompson, and so much more, starting with the cheapest weapon I could find, a regular old combat knife. Now when facing off against guns, the knife isn't that effective. As you can see, it's really easy to get cornered and taken out from long range. You really have to get up close, so it's not super effective. However, when you do get up close and you get a few swipes off, as you can see, you can get kills with this. It is still pretty difficult, but you can make it happen. But then when you're cornered like this, if there was just the one, I'd probably get around, jump around and maybe get a kill. But when it's two, it's pretty impossible. The bots are admittedly a lot easier to kill, but the knife might just not be the best weapon to use. So clearly the $100 knife isn't cut out for war, so let's move on to the $1,000 revolver. Now the revolver was actually really fun to use. It's not too bad at long range, as long as you get the aim just right, obviously. But it's quite fun close range. If you land a headshot, you can do some serious damage. As you can see in the clips that follow, I actually managed to get quite a few kills in a few tight situations. As long as you catch them by surprise, you are more than likely going to win and get the kill. But the revolver has a disadvantage. There's only 6 rounds and then you have to reload, and the reload is quite slow. Now, that's not the biggest problem if you're able to time your reloads. It becomes a pretty tactical game at that point. But my advice would be, if you're going to use the revolver on its own, get a kill, get out of harm's way, reload, make sure that you're always topped up on your 6 rounds, because otherwise you're not going to be that effective. As you can see here, it is pretty good close range. As long as you get a headshot, you're going to do fine. The $1,000 pistol is pretty strong, but I think we can do better with the $1,500 Enfield. The Enfield is a great mid-range, even long range, but definitely mid-range is where it excels. Landing those headshots is nice and clean, especially with the iron sight optics. And close range in 1v1 situations, if you land a headshot, you've won. You just have to be really quick. And as you can see here, the ability to zoom in and get kills at range it's not bad at all. Especially on Blockfront, it kinda doesn't have any bullet drop, so you're not really susceptible to missing your aim or having to like adjust your shots. But as you can see, quite far down the barrel, if you hold off just for a little bit, take your time your shots perfectly, and make sure you're lined up, you can be pretty effective. Perfect, see? Headshot every time. That's what you want to aim for with the Enfield. The Enfield is great at mid-range and can hold its own in the Minecraft war, but let's see how the $3,000 Dewar 43 holds up. I think throughout this entire session, the Dewar is probably my favourite gun I've used. I like the 10-round mag, I like that it's semi-automatic. It's similar to the Enfield, the range is on par, I would say. It might take a few more shots just because I don't think that high level of damage is there with the Dewar, but the fact that you have 10 rounds, it's semi-automatic, so you can get a few shots off quickly. You see that scenario there were 2 enemies, managed to take them both down because I didn't have to wait for that quick bolt to come back. As you can see, as I'm moving through as well, it's a fun weapon to use. I would recommend definitely trying out the Dewar if you want a bit more of a challenge. By the way, that guy somehow just prone there. I'm not entirely sure. But the Dewar, headshots as well, really effective. Great at close range, great at mid-range. Not as good at long range, but that's not the biggest problem. You don't really want to engage in long range with a weapon like this, especially if you're going up against a sniper. You're gonna lose, but that's not what this gun is good for. And this guy here, there was an enemy there, and then he's just tucked around the corner prone. So I was trying to get an angle, couldn't get an angle from here, worried that there was a grenade that just dropped. So I thought, okay, let me just try and sneak around the corner. I know where he is, so I know where to aim. So let's get around that corner quickly, take out another enemy. I still know he's there. Check my right, straight down, and finish him off. The Dewar 43 might be my favourite so far, but I think the $4,000 Thompson might be better. The Thompson is an interesting one. Obviously, full auto, 30 rounds. If you've ever played a classic Call of Duty game, you are familiar with the Thompson. It's great at short range, great at mid range. It doesn't excel at long range, but obviously it's a submachine gun. It's not supposed to. But I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed using it. It felt good. It felt like if I was hitting my shots right, I was doing well. And the advantage is, obviously, you can navigate the map without having to worry about the downfalls of the Enfields and the Dewars of the game, because you have that full auto rifle just on tap. But as you saw there, the disadvantage is the long range. You're not going to win a gunfight in long range with this weapon. That being said, stick to the close quarter combats, pick your angles. You're gonna win 9 out of 10 gunfights as long as you pre-fire. It's probably the best tip for this. Obviously, that was not fun. They shot straight through the window. But yeah, the Thompson, definitely recommend using it. It's a lot of fun. I think this probably is the most fun I had while playing Blockfront for now. The Duo was a lot of fun as well, but I would definitely pick the Thompson. And in this last clip, you'll be able to see just how effective it is at close range. I know there's an enemy there somewhere. Locked on, a few shots, popped straight away. No issues whatsoever. The Thompson is amazing, but this last one is going to be crazy, and it costs $10 million. The tank was a little different. The mode that the tank is available in, it just wasn't very populated at the time of filming the video. Also, there's only one map, or I think 1 or 2 maps currently that have the tank. So, spawned into a survival world, spawned a bunch of mobs, spawned the tank in, and it is carnage. It deals so much damage. You have the ability to navigate through terrain, launch shots at close quarters without taking any damage. And if there's a group of enemies, you are going to obliterate them. And it has a nice little zoom. So if you want to take out an enemy at long range, or even mid range, that's how you do it. Zoom in, you've got them done. Now you can see here there's a horde of pigmen coming my way. They're all bundled up. I couldn't get away. Tank wasn't quick enough. So I just thought, right, I'm going to turn around. I'm just going to launch a shot right at the tank's feet. You can see I'm turning around just here. Boom. All gone in one shot. At least the zombies survived 1 or 2 rounds in the horde. The zombie pigmen, they're gone. So if you want to spawn this into your vanilla world, I would definitely recommend it. And it's time for the creeper to get blown up. Don't you think? I love the tank. I love this. If you could craft this in a survival world, just use this instead against the Ender Dragon or the Wither, I would definitely do that. It seems worth it to me. So the $10 million tank is obviously the best weapon for the Minecraft war. But let me know in the comments what your favourite is. And don't forget to subscribe.